So we gotta check out Bill Maher once again with Batya Angar Sargon. I'm sure I'm butchering that name. My apologies. Actually, I played a part of this for you guys yesterday, but it was a different portion of this sit down between her and Bill Maher. And I want to play this for y'all because it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good if I do say so myself. Watching Bill Maher get owned is that's always popcorn worthy. So with that being said, let's dive in.
Okay, so just like I said, we don't have time to fuck around. I gotta go right at you because, you know, I've known you for a while, and when I first read you, you were a conservative Republican, but not crazy. Like I read you in where? Newsweek, Time Magazine? And I'm not saying you're crazy now, but you went from just a conservative, leaning right to a Trump supporter, okay? Someplace I would never go. And...
I mean, the night is young, Bill.
It is not ever going to be that young. And I'm just wondering what you think now. We're approaching 2 months in. I mean, you must have a feeling in your gut. Look me in the eye and tell me you don't. That this is really going badly, and I shouldn't have thrown my lot in with this team.
Oh, no, I feel the opposite.
All right. Tell me why.
I'm so sorry, Bill.
No, tell me why.
No, I feel so proud of, I mean, I was never a Republican or a conservative. I was a leftist, and I am still a leftist. I'm just a MAGA leftist now because...
That makes no sense.
That makes all the sense in the world because, you know, there's a lot of Democrats who were sick and tired of being sick and tired. And Trump came along, and Trump's not the typical Republican. As I've stated before, this is a new Republican Party. This isn't the Republican Party of old. This isn't the Republican Party that Liz Cheney roamed around in. This is no longer that Republican Party. This isn't the Republican Party that Mitch McConnell ruled over. No. This is a new Republican Party. This is a Republican Party where you may see somebody with purple hair that voted for this party. You may see somebody with purple hair and nose rings that voted for this party, right? You may see characters who you wouldn't have guessed would vote Republican, but voted Republican for this new Republican Party. They wouldn't have voted for the old Republican Party, but the new Republican Party, they're more than happy to vote for and support fully. I've come across lots of videos like that. Lots of videos of former Democrats saying, yeah, I support Donald J. Trump. Hell, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I am a former Democrat, fully in support of Donald Trump. I'm the perfect example right here. But if y'all don't believe me, that I've come across lots of these videos, y'all know I always come with clips, baby. Check it out.
Hey everyone, I'm a liberal voting for Trump, and if you're still on the fence about who to vote for this upcoming election, just listen to this one thing. When I talk to MAGA, I get respectful and intelligent dialogue, even if they disagree with me. When I disagree with the left, they verbally abuse me. They call me fat, make fun of my teeth, other nasty names like misogynist, incel, racist, homophobe. Not a single Trump supporter has done that to me. So be careful who you're voting for because sometimes evil is disguised as good.
1000% facts. And I've experienced the same thing, and I've talked about it previously as well. When I first began this journey of discovering the truth, not one Republican came in the comment section and called me some type of name, called me an idiot, called me stupid, called me out of my name in general. Even though I know most of you could still see that I was still a little bit biased towards Democrats. Even though I was trying to be fair and trying to see both sides. Some of you remember this. I was trying to see both sides and look at the Republicans and look at the Democrats. I think just unconsciously, I still had like this thing that was pulling me towards the Democrat Party. Like I wanted the Democrat Party to prove me right so badly. And not one Republican called me out of my name. Not one. It was all encouraging. Hey, brother, maybe you should check out this video. Or why don't you look at this clip? Or, hey, why don't you try to see it from this perspective instead? All stuff like that. But the moment I became a Republican, you know who called me names? You know who called me all types of names? hit me with the DMs, right? I still got some of the DMs. Maybe one day I'll make a video on some of the DMs, put some of these folks on blast. That'll be interesting. The Democrats, they call me all types of names simply because I disagreed with them on who I was going to vote for and who or what party I was going to support. And yet they called themselves the party of love and positivity. And I've said this time and time again, and we're going to get back into this video, but if you have to tell me that you're the party of love and positivity, you're not truly the party of love and positivity, because if you were, you wouldn't have to tell me. And the fact that you're constantly trying to tell me lets me know that you know the truth, but you're trying to cover it up with a bunch of lip bumping.
As a never Trumper last election and a pretty staunch Democrat, gay Latino man, I just cast my vote for President Trump. Or as some of you guys would like to say, against my own best interests. And for a while there, I believed it. It's time that we have a president in office, once again, that is going to put America and American citizens first. Leading up to this election, things have been intense and pretty crazy, but it has been very eye-opening for me. I've pissed a lot of people off, but I've also gained a lot of supporters as well. Those supporters being people that I've been told my entire life hate me for who I am, simply for being a gay man. Example, Republicans and MAGA supporters. And it's ironic that the loving and accepting community that have been feeding me those lies have now become some of the most hateful people towards me. I have opened my eyes and now realized how the mainstream media has drugged this man through the dirt and completely manipulated how people perceive him. Do I agree with everything that this man has said and or done throughout his life? Absolutely not. But what I do agree with is peace through strength, putting American citizens first, secure borders, ending these wars, making the U.S. more energy independent once again, and bringing jobs back to the United States of America, making everyday living more affordable again, whether it's buying a house, renting, putting gas in your car, or going to the grocery store. For those reasons and others that I did not mention, I am proudly supporting Donald Trump this election. The countdown begins, guys, and soon we will know the fate of this country for the next 4 years. I love you guys.
Same experience, man. Same experience. The moment that you disagree is the moment that all the names and love and the positivity, all of that stuff goes right out the window. Every bit of it. Every ounce of it. Even NBC aired a clip where a former Democrat said he was voting for Trump. Would you have guessed that this guy was voting for Trump?
I'm voting for Trump, and the reason I'm voting for him is I like everything he's done in this country. Finally, somebody who stands up for America. You know, I like everything he's done dealing with Iran, the Middle East, with the peace. And as ex-military, I'm really happy he's standing up for the military and making, progress there. So.
And have you always voted Republican?
No, I'm a Democrat.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm a Democrat, but I'm...
Yeah. Now, that was an even older clip. That was from 2020. That wasn't 24. So Trump has been converting people the entire time. It only accelerated in 2024. Meanwhile, you had Democrats hiring actors to pretend as if they were former Republicans that were going to now vote Democrat.
Now, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have been accused of deliberate misinformation. They've released a political ad that claims to depict two former Trump voters who live in Pennsylvania and who have switched to Team Kamala after the horrors of January 6th. But this pair of farmers shown in the ad appear to, in fact, be two actors, Robert Lang and Christina Chadwick, and they have an extensive history of kosher of donating to the Democrats and leftist causes dating back to at least 2016. For a party that talks endlessly about the dangers of disinformation and misinformation, they engage in plenty of it.
Facts. Like I said, meanwhile, you have the Democrat Party hiring actors to pretend like there's Republicans who are switching over to vote Democrat. Now, are there probably some Republicans that switched over to vote Democrat? Yeah, but that number is like very, very tiny. It's less than 1% of 1%. Less than 1% of 1% of Republicans switched over to vote Democrat. Like, yeah, it's very minute. But the number of Democrats who switched over to vote Republican, now that number is very significant. And we see evidence of that in all of the videos that we have online. And I just displayed, 3 or 4 clips for you right there. And I've got more. If I wanted to make this video much longer, I could. And this dates back to 2020, as I showed you guys in that last clip from NBC. That wasn't from 24, that was from 2020. So yeah, there are lots of Democrats who are in the new Republican Party now. Bill Maher.
Well, would you like me to explain it to you?
Please do, yes, please.
When I look at what President Trump ran on and the agenda that he's enacting right now, he took a Republican Party that was built on social conservatism, foreign interventions and wars, and free trade and free markets. And he basically took an axe to all of those. During the campaign, he said, look, I mean, he's pretty pro-gay. That's pretty obvious. He appointed the highest-ranking out gay person, Scott Bessent, our Secretary of Treasury, which is incredible. And he sidelined the pro-life wing of his party.
He has changed the party, for sure.
Okay, so he believes abortion should be legal for 12 weeks.
But free trade, you
on
mentioned.
foreign intervention, he's anti-war. He's trying to bring to an end to all of these wars, okay?
By surrendering, but yes.
Okay.
I mean, that is one way to end a war.
Well, you know, he's on the other side of another party that is quite pro-war and wants to keep the war going, right?
But
let me just get to the third point. And the third point is, and he's not free trade. He does not believe in free trade. He looked at our destroyed manufacturing base. He looked at the downwardly mobile working class. He looked at the fact that working class Americans can no longer afford the American dream. And he looked at why that was, which was there was a handshake agreement between both parties that we should somehow have free trade, which resulted in shipping 5 million good manufacturing jobs overseas to build up China and Mexico.
And some came here.
No, what they did was they brought in millions and millions of illegal migrants to compete with the jobs that remained here. And what Donald Trump said was, we have to stop selling out the working class. That agenda that he laid out, socially moderate, anti-war, and anti-free trade protectionist, that is a leftist
Sam, I will
agenda.
bring you in, I swear to God.
Yeah, absolutely owned him. Absolutely owned him. 100% facts. Trump is a guy of simple common sense. That's the best way that I can describe Uncle Trump. It's just common sense. He understood what things were very popular, what things weren't very popular, what things the base would, meaning us, would say, okay, I understand why he's taking that stance, and what things we wouldn't. He also understood, if I take some of the Democrats' positions on some of these things, they hate me so much that they're going to go against it. They used to be the party of the middle class. So if I come out with this agenda to support the middle class, they're going to have to go against it. And Scott Jennings laid this out perfectly on CNN when he said Trump has the ability to hop on the 80% side of an issue and watch Democrats scramble and run for the 20% side just because they hate Trump. But the 20% side is the less popular side, so they end up always looking stupid. In the 80% side, some of these things are things that Democrats used to agree with. But Trump talked about them first. Case in point, Doge. Doge used to be a Democrat talking point. I've got the clips. And matter of fact, I may be dropping some shorts today of Joe Biden and Barack Obama talking about basically Doge. Deporting illegals. That's a very popular thing. People agree with that completely. Bringing manufacturing back to America. People agree with that completely. But of course, Democrats, they got to go against it. Doge, giving out a dividend to the American citizens in the form of possibly $5,000 or more dollars. Americans, by and large, agree with that. This is our money anyway. Give it back to us. But Democrats have to rail against it. Case in point, Jasmine Crockett. We're not in the business of giving away money. Some of you probably remember that clip. We're not in the business of giving away money. Matter of fact, hold on, I want to see if I can find that because that was just absolutely crazy.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from Doge back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID that was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us, because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
We are not in the business of giving out money, and I don't know what $5,000 will do for you. Ooh, talk about out of touch. But once again, because Trump said it, they have to rail against it, which makes them look stupid. You're going to rail against giving the American taxpayers our own dollars back to the tune of $5,000? Lots of people could really use $5,000. Just because you all are millionaires, Jasmine Crockett, wonder how you got those millions. Maybe Cash Patel should take a closer look. But just because you're a millionaire, $5,000 is chump change to you. It's not chump change to the American population. That's a lot of money, okay? So Trump is a guy of common sense. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. He may have had zero intention on actually doing this, but the fact that he said it and he forced Democrats to come out and say ignorant, stupid-ass things like that, it's genius. It's genius. But anyway, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions on all of this. Thanks for tuning in as always. I greatly appreciate your love and support. Peace and love.